Hello, welcome everyone today to our CS Music Masterclass. So happy to have everyone join us. And I'll just take a second to let everyone kind of sign in, and keep your microphones muted, but we'd love to see your face if you're willing to say hello today. If you don't want to, that is okay as well. Hello, welcome. Okay, for the singers, I'm going to put a little bit of instructions in the chat. So please take a look at that. We have 4 singers signed up today. And so take a look at that if you are not familiar with some of the suggestions we give. This is just a reminder for you. So welcome. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. It's so great to see some familiar faces and some not as familiar faces. Welcome everyone to CS Music's Masterclass series. We're so happy to have you all here with us, and we're excited to have our guest presenter. This is stage director Maria Todaro, and I did not say that right.
This is perfect. That was perfect.
We have 4 singers planning to sing today. So if you are one of those, I believe I saw most of you on here. We have Rain, Fabrizio, Alyssa, and Sophia. So I believe I saw everyone except for Alyssa. So perhaps, Alyssa, if you are signed up under a different name, if you're in here but you're under a different name, if you want to send me just a quick message so that I know that you're here. And I saw someone with just the name Sophia, but no last name. So I'm hoping that that is our Sophia that's going to be singing today. But I believe we're going to start with Rain. And Rain has been great supporter of CS Music's Masterclasses. She's participated in a couple of others, so it's good to see you today, Rain. And Rain, I just sent those settings to you again so that you can take a look at that. So we're going to have Rain go first, but before we get started with that, Maria, would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
With pleasure, and I'm so thrilled to have all of you here. It's what a format, what a what an adventure that we have to do this masterclass this way in those times. But this is such a great way to stay connected with your talents and serving your talent. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be with you. We're gonna have a great time. I hope. I know I will. And the only thing is, before I introduce myself, am I going to see Rain like this, or is this going to pop? Because I'd love to see, I see you, you're beautiful, Rain. I see you, but I'd love to see a little more of her face. Mary, do you have a tutorial for me to see her pop a little more?
If you look in the top right, do you have a few smaller thumbnails at the top? And at the very top right, there's gallery view.
Great.
And then
the speaker view and the gallery view. I got it. Okay, great.
So
that's how I'll do it. Perfect. So a few words about me. Indeed, I am a stage director. I have a little bit of an accent. I'm French, so I'm glad some of you might want to bring, hey, Diana is doing this. I don't know. Usually people are like, oh no, no French attitude. But so nobody's perfect, right? I am French with an Italian father, so language was very important. Text language, which is something I hope we're going to talk. My background is that, I started as an opera singer, and I was, oh my gosh, shame. I was an opera singer. I sang a lot of Baroque music, actually, but all kinds of stuff. And one of my little twists is that I am a fight choreographer also. So physical violence and, all those things I did stunts, and I'm a stunt artist. So, which was important in, body physicality. There's stunts all the time on stage, a simple fall on stage, and all of you do those things. So I needed to know the technique. I needed to know how to teach my colleague, and also now my artist, how to do all those things safely. I am also the head of an international festival upstate New York that we co-founded about 11 years ago. And now the pandemic has brought new perspective in a digital world. So I am not focusing on being a virtual slash digital slash AR, VR, and all of the above stage director too, because there will be a lot of new partnership in the world of opera in the future. So things that we can talk, if you want to make it relevant today, about acting and about presentation on screen, we can certainly talk a little bit about what I've heard, what's new, what people are talking about. You know, if those are questions you have for your future, I'd be happy to share what I know. That's it. That's a lot to digest. That's it. And nobody understood a word because it was said with a French accent anyway. So
It was great. We absolutely understood. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So I believe, Rain, are you ready? You want to introduce yourself?
Hi. So I understand what I have to do in the settings. My question is that I don't know where the settings are because I am technology inept.
I understand. Next to the mute button at the bottom, there is a little arrow. And then at the very bottom of that, it says audio settings. Click on that link.
Hold on. I see no arrow.
You see no
And
arrow.
I can mute myself and I can unmute myself. There is no arrow.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think that it'll probably be okay. It's okay. Let's go ahead and I think you probably will be fine. If we find that there's a problem, we'll try again.
Okay.
Sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well then, my name is Rain Robinson. I am also French, so yay. I don't speak much more from the Fantastics. So let's see how this goes.
Excellent.
I'd like to swim in a clear blue stream where the water is icy cold. Then go to town in a golden gown and have my fortune told. Just once before I fall. I'd like to be not evil, but a little worldly wise. To be the kind of girl designed to be kissed upon the eye. I'd like to dance till 2 o'clock, or sometimes dance till dawn. Or if the band could stand it, just go on and on and on. Just once, before the chance is gone. I'd like to waste a week or two and never do a charm. To wear my hair unfastened so it belongs to the floor. To do the things I've dreamed about but never done before. Perhaps I'm bad or wild or mad with lots of raving stars. But I want much more than keeping your house. Much more. Much
Bravo. Bravo.
Yeah.
You, first of all, you are absolutely stunning, and you're so brave to sing in front of a screen like this. I really admire your courage, all of you who will sing today. Um, you, can I ask why you choose that? What touches you in this area, in
Um,
this song?
this song to me is just, it's like always wanting to either follow your dreams or do things that are wild and rebellious. And I'm a very goody-goody person. I'm afraid of consequences, but I also have that like rebellious side of me where I want to go out and do everything. So I think there's like that conflict in there, but it's also just like a very beautiful song melodically that touches me in that way.
It does, and it's a great, what I love about this repertoire, that you can isolate the song and you can tell this, you can a story just by singing the song out of its context. But what is the story for you that you did say it's about, you did say it's about, you know, sky's the limit, and what you want to reach everything, and everything's possible. What are the words that touch you the most in this?
The words that touch me the most in this song,
Uh-huh.
let's see here. I would have to say it's towards the end right here, to do the things that I've dreamed about but never done before. Perhaps I'm bad or wild or mad, with lots of grief in store.
Excellent. Do you start this? Do you start the song with those thoughts in your head?
Yeah.
Okay. So see, for me, when you went to the second part of your song, I saw all your energy and your animation, given the fact that, of course, you're like in front of your computer, there's nobody, there's no energy in the room, there's like all those, I
Yeah.
understand it takes us a little 5 seconds of adjustment. We're like, hey, I'm singing in my own living room and there's like 30 people watching me on the other. It's an adjustment, no doubt. And I'm with you on that, hence your courage. But so what I see, what it's immediate about you is your extraordinary positive energy right away. Even on the screen, it's very obvious that you're retaining your there's a lot of energy that you are in, that you have not given necessary permission to yourself to unleash. And it's good, and you can't move. There's like this, right? So you can really go left and right in your screen. But when on the second part, when you start to have your eyes into the exaggeration of your, the magnifying of the text, this is so captivating for us audience. And I will encourage you to start at that level right at the beginning, specifically when you step in the room of an audition and you have to present yourself like this. Every second and the first seconds are so important. This is how you judged, and you all know that, right? The way you move the air when you enter a room is very important, and you have that. It's clear that you have that. So I would say I would love to see the same level and energy the same level of interpretation, the physical expressions that you put in your face, because this is all we can see here. I can see your face. But is it okay to see how we can work on a tiny bit of the beginning of this song again? Can you just, and we can stop it and discuss it a little bit? Is there anything, an immediate question you have for me about how you would like to present yourself better with that? Because this is all about the immediacy of what you convey. You see, you warmed up. Let me just say, you warmed up second part. I don't know for me, and I want to be captivated. The stakes are what you delivered at the second part of the song. The stakes, even if there's an arch in your song, the stakes are that high right at the beginning, and then you build up even more. So try to show me you saying those words many, many times. So give me different colors also when you repeat the same words. If you can find a different reason of why we repeat stuff.
Okay.
Let's see the beginning.
Okay.
We have a few minutes, so that's. I'm gonna stop you. May I stop you already?
Oh
no! May I stop you already? This intro.
Yes.
What does it mean for you?
this intro for me is, that's a good question. And that's a question I should have thought of.
Because you have to captivate us from that. The
Right.
minute, the second the piano plays, you are ready, the character you're presenting.
Right. And I mean, I know what the character says right before this song starts, and I do relate with that as well.
What does it say? What do you say?
She's saying that, she wants to cry until her tears run down her face and she can taste them because she loves to taste her tears, and she's begging God not to let her be normal because normal is boring.
Okay. So what is an emotion that comes? What is your first emotion? What is this? What does the piano tells you? Because right now, this is a very passionate statement you're making. So I do not want to be normal. Who on earth say those things? First of all, in normal life, I don't want to be normal. This is somebody very special who is in absolute rebellion of her circumstances, who said those kind of things, right? So I don't want the norm. It's not what I want. Yeah. This norm, I refuse that norm around me, I refuse it, right? So what is that very calming music saying after those passionate words?
I think that that's kind of the breaking point. It's almost like I'm not necessarily going to cry, but it's like the pouring of my heart of like, this is what I want, and this is what I'm finally saying, like, this is what I've kept in all these years, and now I'm finally setting it free.
Okay. I hear you. The very calming, I mean, the music always also says something that we have to embrace, right? As actors, it's interesting to say something different with our body than the music, or in combo with the music. And most of these songs that we perform, we're lucky as singers that we're not just actors without any musical support behind us, is that as singers we can lean and take the emotion that the music gives us. So this very calming, you absolutely, whatever you said, it's absolutely right on. The calming few bars of the piano for me is the calming down of you were like, and then like, let me rationalize, wipe my tears and rationalize all those thoughts that are invading, and calming down, and I will try to articulate what I'm trying to, the process I'm processing. So this is a moment of, I'm collecting all the thoughts. Let me, and I will, to myself, to you audience, I will try to really tell you what I feel, because I know I was like a mad woman 2 seconds ago. Let me articulate. That's, you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? So it's that kind of sigh that was it before. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you my soul. I'm going to tell you what I really feel, and why I don't want that to be my norm, and why I don't want that to be normal. And this is that's going to give you such an arch to if you go to that place of collect, and then you like controlling the crazy horse in you this whole song. And then when we go to the second part, it's like, do you get it? Do you get that we can reach all those things? So like, does that make sense, sweetheart? Okay. Can you try to paint it in 2 seconds, like crazy? Let's do this crazy thing online. Let's try.
Okay.
And the importance of using the music for you, serving you, and serving your. Let's try again. We're alive already.
I'd like to swim in a clear blue stream where the water is icy cold. Then go to town in a golden gown and have my fortune told. Just once.
I'm gonna stop you. Brain, I'm gonna stop you. This is already, do you guys agree that there's so much more life right away, and the captivating energy that you're amazing, that you can do that thing, that you can do that thing like this blows my mind away. Like, okay, I just like, blah, 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 a lot of notions, and you just did it. This is amazing. Yeah. You got that vibe. It's like from the stakes have to be that high, and the introduction, you already captivate us. We already, oh, something happened before. Even if we don't know what happened before, the fact that you getting to, and it doesn't need big gesture, which you didn't do, but for us that was great that you did the whole sighing and the whole thing. It just sets the tone for us to be like, oh, this is going to be interesting. And when you're in an audition or in a concert version, you got us like with a little pinky right away. By the pinky, you got us right away from the 5 seconds. It matters that when you enter the room for an audition, you're you, Rain, serious, whatever, dedicated, hardworking, whatever you are. But the minute you look down to give the sign to the pianist to start, you're already into the character. And you just did it. That's really cool. The 2 phrases, when I stopped you, the 2 phrases you repeated, try to find me. What are you saying? Just once, you're saying? That's why the words?
Yeah, just once, just the once before it's old. Yes, before I'm old.
So just once. You said it twice. The first time you had this beautiful up, and then I'd like, if you have why do we look up? Do you know?
I think there I looked up because it was like a weight off of my shoulders. It was relieving, like just once.
Okay, it's very fair. The look up is usually finding inspiration, ideas, blah, blah, blah. Look down is like, preoccupation, whatever. This is psychology 101, but body language psychology 101. So why do we repeat words twice in normal life? Like in normal life?
I generally repeat words for emphasis, to emphasize it.
We emphasize it, we're trying, absolutely, you're right. We emphasize, we're trying to convince ourselves, we're trying to convince someone. There's all kinds of reasons, but do we repeat the same tone when we repeat?
No, it generally gets more intense.
More intense, less intense, whatever you decide to do, but so your expression has to be different. You know that.
Right.
So we got to move on, and that was so amazing already, but find when you work on whatever, and this song that is so great for you for audition shows you perfectly, and you managing the bottom, the chest, and the head very well too. So continue working on this, and with those texts in mind, that level of dedication for the words. But when you repeat those things, just find another expression just once, and then find another thought, find all the ADD-ness of the character, little squirrels running in your head. You want to see squirrels, we want to see them, we want to understand. We have only your face to follow your thoughts to tell the story, so it's important that you calculate what thoughts, your roadmap of thoughts for us. Does that make any sense? It's very confusing what I'm saying.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm glad. Well, you're a very talented young woman, Rain. Where are you? Is it like legally okay to ask where people live, or not your address, but in which place of the States they are? Where, in what?
Can do that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like no PC, Maria. Which state are you? Which state? Where
I'm in Nevada in Las Vegas.
Wow, cool. Excellent. Wow, that's so cool. Well, we're so glad to have you with us this morning. Thank you for joining. I think Mary, how am I doing with time? You might time monitor.
Yes, you're doing great. So yes, if we want to have Fabrizio, I believe, next.
Rain, I'm yours for questions afterwards, and I think we have a little question answer afterwards. So if you have more questions, keep them, and I'd be happy to respond them. Hi, Fabrizio.
Hello, how are you?
Buongiorno. Doria is buenos días or buongiorno?
I should be able to speak better Spanish, although I speak some Italian, but yeah, pretty much it's just English.
Fabrizio Doria, that's a great name. You got all the world at your hand with that name. That's fabulous. Um, is that okay, Mary? Am I stepping on your toes if I'm taking over and asking questions right away? Fabrizio, what will you sing? At what do you do? What's your
So I live in Brooklyn, New York, although I'm in Tucson, Arizona, which is out west, to take care of ma mère during this
well, good très
situation.
bon. You're good
And yeah, what sort of inspired me to want to sing today is I did a master class in one of these series a little over a month ago, and I had a lot of problem with the technology and sort of using it, and it sort of took me out of my ability to sort of act and really interpret the character. And so I wanted a chance to sing again, and you were the perfect fit to work on that with one of my competition arias that I did.
So brave. It's so brave of you to do that. No, seriously, I admire all of you that want to do this today in this setting. It's very brave. Let's face it, guys. I mean, singing is a brave thing, regardless of where you do it. It's so brave, so courageous. Well, I can't wait. So what are you gonna do?
Today I'm going to sing La Fleur from Carmen by Bizet.
All right, let's do that.
La fleur que tu m'avais jetée dans ma prison m'intéressait, flétrisse, chasse ta fleur, garde toujours sa douce odeur, et pendant des heures entières sur mes yeux fermant mes paupières, dans cette odeur je m'enivrais. La nuit, je te voyais, je m'apprenais à te maudire, à te détester, à maudire. Pourquoi faut-il que le destin l'enivela sur mon chemin? Puis je m'accuse en noble femme et je n'ai senti en moi-même, je n'ai senti qu'un seul désert, un seul désert, un seul espoir, te revoir, oh Carmen, oui, te revoir, car tu n'avais une pas paraître, car je te regarde sur moi pour t'emparer de tout mon être. Oh ma Carmen, et j'attends une chose à toi, Carmen, je t'aime.
Bravo! No, très bien, très bien. No, it's one of the most, you're so brave. This is one of the most difficult ever aria written for a tenor. You have a fabulous voice. And don't worry about, this is a working session. So I don't give a damn about, you know, breathing things that we can't do. I mean, come on, look at the setting. This is horrible for a singer.
I sang it on Sunday and it was fine for a
Of
concert.
course, no, it's great.
It's much later in the day. It's a little early where I am.
No, of course, let's go to work. Let's go to work. There's so many good things. So many good things. First of all, your French is great.
Really?
Second of all, yeah. Second of all, what about the pianist there? This is like a cool, your own.
Hello, yes. So I decided to.
Oh my God, what a luxury! You have your own pianist. Everybody's like, damn you, tenor. See, one more reason people detest tenors is because you have your own pianist. It's like, I'm kidding. Everybody
it makes a big difference because
exactly.
I can concentrate more on the work. But yes, his name is Lauren Mitchell.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. Thank you for the beautiful playing and so following so beautifully too. You, well, what do you know about this aria? What is the situation?
He just got out of jail and he's reunited with Carmen, the woman he loves. And I feel like he is sort of, how do you say, embarrassed to tell her how much he really loves her.
What happened just before? Yes, yes to all of that, of all accounts, of course. What's really just happened before? Do you know?
Oh, she does the whole dance with the castanets and sort of tries, is working very hard on seducing him.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yes.
That's amazing. He knows it all by heart. That's funny. You just had a massive argument.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess they don't agree.
Just before you having this enormous argument, and this is the. Have you ever been in, Fabrizio? Have you ever been in a loving relationship where you love the person to death, but you were just about to kill that person 5 seconds with your name and your culture? I would be surprised if there's no temperament that never wanted to strangle someone that you love.
Not the way these two love each other. No, this is a little crazier.
Well, the beauty of this aria is the contrast on what has been said 2 seconds ago and the abandon of this man and the vulnerability of this man at this moment. You were right on when you say this is the embarrassment of confession. It's really putting yourself naked in front of this woman and ready to be trampled in the most vulnerable way. There's a fragility and yet a strength and a courage that Don José display in this aria. So, which is interesting because the la da 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 la, it's on a high pitch. So we have to give a meaning to every single of those moments. So let me see, because there's so much to be told. And I don't want you to sing the whole aria. No, but again, when same stuff, this whole intro, how would you calm yourself? It's also the same stuff that I was saying to Rain a little earlier. When you start, we gotta be with you already emotionally. So what is your first emotion?
To me, I think it was sort of fear. And I don't know if you could pick up that in my mind, as I was singing, she was over here, but I didn't want to really look at her until, I felt more comfortable sort of expressing. And there's a lot of text poetry I have to sing through before I feel comfortable looking at her.
I completely agree, 100% with you. This is a song that there's very little eye contact until specific moment because of the vulnerability you're in. So, but what is the first breathing? What is your first, before you sing La Fleur que tu m'avais jeté, where's the place you go into?
I would say either 1 measures or 2 measures before my first line, and sort of in the bass in the left hand you hear the dun 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 dee.
So what would you like to convey with your face? What is the emotion you would like to convey at that moment? That's my question. What is the emotion? What are you thinking?
I mean, I feel, yeah, it's fear, but a little bit of hope.
Okay.
Unless you have a different idea.
No, but I want to take your idea and run with it. Can we see the beginning? Can we see just before? I'm interested to talk about the beginning, how you start stuff and how you end them. Because the first thing you do as singers in a room of audition or whatever is what sets the deal. And then we listen, of course, and you can still reconvince your audience and you can still you have to sustain. It's a whole different work. But the way you start, your way you end is really so important. So those have to be, and those are usually, we give a lot of attention of the technical, the pacing, the words in the aria, how you're going to manage your phrases, but the silence and your presentation is vital because it really hooks us or it does not hook us, This is when you're like, okay, I'm going to listen to this guy, or I'm like, this is the time I can, breathe. And I'm talking, this is not the point of talking only about audition, but it's also with your audience, when you've been listening for 3 hours of opera and we have no spam attention anymore, when you can have a breather as an opera members for your brain, that'd be unfortunate that it's when you sing the flower aria that people are like, okay, this is time for my little nap. Perfect. You know what I mean? So no, this is the moment where people should not breathe. They should have you squeeze their butt and listen to you. So what is the all right, do the beginning. I want to, if Lauren can play a little bit before, and I'd like to see your setting. I want to understand what goes through your head.
Okay. What if we do 3 or 4?
Very good. So, forgive me, Fabrizio. Okay, what I saw from you is the beautiful singer, technician, preparing for his L and consonant that's going to reach the note. Okay. I saw a lot of, and I'm saying this, you are fantastic. You have all this in you. So we're going to get it in 2 seconds. You'll see. You're blinking a lot.
Okay.
Because you're focusing. This is a thing we do. We're blinking a lot. I would say at the beginning, try to absolutely be super still with your eyes.
Okay.
And if you don't know what to do with your eyes, close them and open them slowly as you're opening for now. Get into that moment. You just had a quarrel. It's okay to close our eyes sometimes. It's okay, people. Like, it's okay to turn your back to an audience. It's okay to do whatever, as long as there's a real reason behind it. And right now you have all the right in the world to look down and close your eyes. Like, how am I gonna tell this woman that, damn you, Carmen, you just, like, you don't understand what you're doing to me. So close your eyes. It's very effective. And look down with abandon, like with a real beaten little puppy right now. Can you do the puppy face?
Yes.
Look down. Look down. Like, already that face is magical. Well, not the one you had just before.
Sure.
The one you had just like a little frown, like, not the pout, the frown. The frown that you had was fabulous. You had a frown of your face. You can't smile. I know, you can't smile, that kills it. But if you can get to that level of you frowning because you're finding new words, that's perfect, babe. That's perfect. If you can start like this, and then open slowly your eyes on La Fleur. Okay. And slowly open them. Stay like this the whole intro. It's pretty cool. Can we do that again? Lauren, please. Very good. This is the beginning was very good. If you can start on La, look up. Okay. And open your eyes. Okay. I know it's like choreography of the face right now, but those things are. Do you understand what I'm doing? We're sculpting to that level. Every single emotions is carefully. You're thinking. How am I going to say? And you have to think. if you're just doing the facial expression to please me, it doesn't work. You have to really think, how am I going to tell this woman? You know, how am I going to tell this person?
Okay.
And I love her. Again, that's very cool. Yes. Yeah, and then you can do your tenor thing the whole time.
Okay.
Then you can sing and pace yourself and take your time. The orchestra is there for you in this whole area, so take your time. This is a very cool beginning. If you can think about it a little more. Do you like it?
Yes, I do. I like that. I actually think that even though we sang 2 notes in the beginning, when I have something to do, even if you want to call it choreography, it helps sort of relax me so that I just...
Of course, nothing at the level of Olympic training that opera singers are trained to do, nothing should be left to
spontaneity.
Well, yes and no, meaning first of all, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan for every note you sing. Like you're doing technically, you have to have a plan emotionally, a plan attitude-wise. Then you're gonna shape that. It's gonna be reshaped by a stage director and your colleague, and interaction with your colleagues, of course. But you have to come with a very precise plan. In every note that you hear, there is a reason for that note. Every rhythm, every words, and if it's not obvious, find it, imagine it, create it yourself. A past, a future. Nothing should be left without having been a brain, forgive the expression, masturbation here, you know?
Yeah.
We don't have do we have minors in the room? Oh, whatever. It's like, you've heard that word before, but you know, it's you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Also, the ending, when you finish and you've done your thing in a high note, no blinking of the eyes. Ego.
Really? Can we try that, I guess?
We can, and then Mary's gonna hit me in the head with a little tap because I'd be late. But what I wanted to say, the end, when you're not singing, you scratch your nose. You're beautiful, 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 and I'm like, yeah, and then just at the last second you went and you scratch your nose before the last note. No, stay in character, go back to Poppy, find yourself a comfortable place to end, and at this point I'd be looking straight and waiting for the real Carmen, you know. So
okay,
do you want to do the...
Sure.
Et j'étais une chose à toi. That was beautiful,
Yeah.
by the way.
Let's do Carmen.
Oh, ma Carmen.
Stop, forgive me. I gotta tell you something. Stop. I gotta tell you something. Oh, ma Carmen is the most begging.
He's more angry, because I think he...
No, it's like, oh Carmen. It's almost like at this point of the aria, you've been like completely naked already. It's complete transparency. So, oh my Carmen is like, don't you see how much I love you? Don't you see it now? Don't you see? So much more of that, okay? And I was your thing. That's you tell her, I was your thing. After that, so, you know, prepare and take all your time to say those things.
Oh, ma Carmen, j'attends une chose à toi, Carmen, je t'aime.
Blink, 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 blink. So it's not the question of just the blink. At this point, you can blink and you can even cry. If you want to cry there. I mean, it's like, well, in an audition, you look like a weirdo if you cry. But on stage, this is a good moment to actually weep. But whatever. So it's not the the stillness in that moment of your body will be very important. You've done the passionate, and I was a thing of you. Et j'étais une chose à toi. This is the ultimate confession. So I would go back and looking at the floor, which sucks because you want your high note to go in the room, but you're a technician and you can do both. So you look down, this is the ultimate, you know, fragility. So this is when you absolutely do not look up. This is not a pride moment. This is like the most broken, vulnerable confession. So this is, find those contrasts, and your body has to be very still.
Okay.
The bubbling is energy. When we sing, we move energy in our body, but you're gonna have the hardest thing for a singer in moment of expressing. For you, singer, I'm not a singer. For you, you know, it's expressing pain, vulnerability, all those things in absolute stillness, which is hard because there's so much going on muscle-wise, energy-wise in the body just before a high note of that difficulty. This is a difficult aria, but there's a lot of think of a volcano inside, containing crazy horse inside, and all that energy that wants to pop again, but you're containing it. Think stillness, think like that. Does that make any sense, Fabrizio?
Yes, absolutely. I think that it's a very brave choice to sing the Chose à Toi down, because for a tenor, you always think, he writes pianissimo in the score, but some people sing it really loud, but it's kind of complicated because he wants sort of you to float. But it's scary to think, oh my God, I'm going to, but I think it would be a very effective choice.
It's not your face, it's your eyes. Okay, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
It's where you put your look. It's where you look. Your eyes are the mirror of your soul and what you feel. So you gotta think about what you do with your eyes.
Okay.
There's ways to convey technically, not endanger what you need, you know, technically, and combine with the expression. You'll find it.
Okay.
Look at yourself when you sing in mirrors.
Okay.
Sing in front of, I can't believe I'm saying that to a tenor. So it's so not PT what I'm doing, right? I take that as a tenor, so I know you can take it. Okay, guys, I love hearing your talent. Thank you so much for sharing it so early. Thank you.
Great.
Good luck, and I'm at your service if you want to continue this conversation after. We can talk.
Great. Thank you so
Mary,
much.
how am I doing? Am I blowing all the timing here?
Oh, just great. You're doing great. So I believe Sophia was going to be next. So Sophia, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Yay. Hi, Sophia.
Hi,
Where
Maria.
are you, Sophia?
I am in Denmark.
No way. Oh,
Wait.
What, 7 p.m. for you?
8, almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so exotic.
Yeah.
Denmark. Wow. You guys are doing okay there? It's the same in here,
Yeah,
I guess.
but you know, we closed everything down, so we're fine, I think. Ish.
You guys have those great restaurants into those greenhouses now. I saw this article. This is fabulous. They're doing the social distancing by putting people in restaurants in greenhouses. How cool is that? So what about you? What are you going to sing?
Well, I'm going to sing Suicidio from La Gioconda. And I think I should...
Little light.
I should apologize. Sorry?
Light and refreshing little piece of music.
Yeah, you know, one
Very
of those
dandy.
moments.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I should, I don't know, say something about my microphone. It seems to distort everything. And we've heard 2 lovely voices so far, but my voice, I've done a few recordings, and it goes, which it does not in real life. So,
well, we'll say it's a specific Baroque interpretation with ornamentation of suicidio. So you hear those things like we'll say it's ornamentation. That's fine.
Yeah, but it doesn't really. It's not. It really. It's Yeah. Sorry, you'll have to say it.
Let's see what we get. Yeah.
And then I'm going to do the gallery version because I have no accompaniment because I just didn't like what I found. So the gallery style is I sing everything a cappella without breaks.
That's great.
Ish. Okay.
So
So
I'm interested by your face and what you do. So.
Sorry, what are you saying?
I'm saying I'm interested mostly about how you're going to say those words than the accompaniment. So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So is this kind of okay for you?
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I need a little bit more distance. So. Sui cieli giù, in questi fieri momenti, tu sai mi resti e cor mi senti. Ultima voce del mio destino, ultima croce del mio cammin. Tocco alla meta, domando al cielo di dormir quieta dentro la vela, domando al cielo. Dentro la Tocco alla mesa, domando al cielo di dormir quieta dentro la
Beautiful, beautiful, and very, very brave of you. Very brave. What a gorgeous instrument you have. So rich, so velvety.
Thank you.
Very, very perfect for this rap. Good job, good job. Really, I'm very moved by your voice. The title. Let's just talk about the title. I mean, this is one of the incredible, things that we do in our art form is that we explore all kinds of extreme emotions of the human nature. You don't strike me as someone who has suicidal thought by nature, and I don't know you at all, so I don't know where but have you questioned what pushes someone to desire dying?
Yeah, well, it's this love song is that she cannot have who she wants, and therefore she.
But I'm not talking about Joconda right now. I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm interested about your understanding.
Yes, I mean,
what
if
it
you
is.
cannot really.
Go ahead.
If you cannot really have the one you love the most, then maybe you could be driven to a suicide, or
Is it
at
a
least
thing that we
feeling.
kill ourselves for a guy? Seriously? I'm kidding. But as you know, they say we all have at some point in our lives, we all have flirted with the idea of what if I kill myself? I don't know if any of you have been. I know I have. I am certainly not. I love life. I have no. Even in my worst depression, I never thought about ending my day. And I know that. I know that some people have this extreme sensitivity to go there, and depression can do that to you, which is not the case here. Of course, you're right. The Gioconda it's a question of honor, and the question of love and honor, and a lot of reason she kills herself, but that has nothing to do with complete depression. But I'm interested about your understanding on Sophia understanding, not character understanding, your understanding of what do you think? Let me try to formulate my question a little better. Why do we start with a scream, suicidio, and why do we end this aria with this low notes, slow pace? Almost the notes are already disappearing. There's no high notes at the end, you know. Can you explain to me in relationship of the suicidal contemplation, what do you understand of that?
Well, for me, it begins with drama, and I need to act. I'm frustrated. I'm in a rage. No, maybe not a rage, but very emotional. And then slowly I squeeze life out of me and the area. And therefore, at the end, it's really me giving up life.
It's and I think she doesn't die right away, right? There's a whole scene with Barnaba at the end who comes and say, hey, by the way, your mother, I drowned her. Something very charming after that. Yeah. It's like
lovely.
Not completely over. Yeah, you're killing yourself fine, but by the way, your mama, she's a goner. Yeah, so I think there's this whole thing afterwards, if I recall the opera. You're correct about this aria is difficult because there's this very fast arch of contemplating death, the making the decision of killing yourself, and actually, happening to completely give in the idea of killing yourself. So there is for me, there's like the after tears, when you don't even have enough energy in your body to cry anymore because there's no tear left. And this is the ending of the song. And the beginning is this contemplation of the facing of the prospect of killing yourself, which is a horrible thing, right? So maybe we could explore pushing the stakes a little further. You did well. You actually conveyed that. What I'm proposing to you, what I'm suggesting to you, is go and add a whole. You gave me 55%. I would want to see 75% before we leave each other, of the emotion that you're conveying in those steps. Okay, so I'd like to take the beginning of your song and understand. Just before, in the way you breathe, in the energy you giving, I want to see just before the video. I'd like to see you seeing that we can see in your face that this is a cry, that this is a real yell, and then we can go to the end and look at how you're ending in abandon your body. What I'm proposing is just more of what you did, a little more. Let's see. Is that okay, Sophia?
Fine. Yeah, fine. Okay, so the beginning, I need to stand up, otherwise it's a little bit. Yeah, so.
Take your time, take a second. Stop. What are you thinking before you're saying that? And why is your hand here? Those are questions I'm asking genuinely. Why is your hand saying that?
I think it's because when you're desperate, I'm a little bit like that. A little drum.
Yeah, when we're desperate.
Sorry?
Do we do this when we're desperate? I'm desperate. I don't know. I'm asking.
I do.
I believe you. I want you to observe in your body language for you if you're really doing this.
I think, yes, I do. And this is a very dramatic area. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, you could do it in other ways, I guess, but then I think it's like you're leaning on it instead of grabbing it.
I'm looking for genuine.
Yeah, okay.
A genuine. Don't get me wrong. We're working here. I find you fabulous.
I know.
Okay? I find you really fabulous. We're working. And I want to push that fabulousness of you further. Your hands, suicidio. If you were to kill yourself, if you were to contemplate death, and this is an exercise that it's not going to happen now, Sophia. It really is not going to happen with 30 people looking at us. This is something that you alone explore this. Do your homework at home that puts you so down and you're going to cry in a corner of your bathroom on the floor. That's your homework as an actress. As an actress is to explore what has been the most terrible memory that could have put you in that state of despair. You're going to have to visit it, and it's going to be super unsafe. And you're going to convulse in your bathroom. You're going to have all kinds of, you want drama? That's drama. When you are doing gestures that are not operatic, but are your gesture of despair. And that is what I'm looking for. You do that homework, you observe your body language and what it does to your voice, and your voice, you'll cry, you got phlegm, you got the shivery of the body. And then you're gonna have to take that color and this attitude and put it in your 5 seconds of aria. Right now, it is, what I'm seeing is you being very safe. I'd like you to be absolutely unsafe at the beginning of suicidio. You saying suicidal. I'll tell you a story afterwards. Let's see. Actually, we don't have time, so I'm going to tell you the story now. I had a friend who were in a play in New York City, and he was doing his last suicidal scene. It ends with him shooting himself and fall. And every night, he was spectacular. He was taking the gun, and there was the shaking of the body, and there was like and there was like high breathing, and the whole body and the whole thing. We were like, everybody was like, oh my God, this guy is really living his suicidal thing. And the time he was taking and the whole, body language before he goes and does it was spectacular. And every night I'm like, how did you ever come to that level of, captivation of your audience? Every night, different. And his secret, he told me, it's a cold shower. He went in a cold shower. It's so deep, it's so intense, that suicidal moment, and he's not a suicidal person, that he could never relate. Even if you go to despair, you can do your homework and find in your memory despair. He could never relate to someone who needs to kill himself. It's a very specific thing. So he observes his body under a cold shower. And he realized that when you turn on the cold shower, the first thing is like, ooh, there's a reaction. And then the body starts, and then the lips, and then the tension of your hands, and the whole, and that's when he was doing that suicidal scene, this is actually what he had in mind, this cold shower. So the whole, the whole body, and us, because of the context of the text and all. And you will say this is method, this is the method, you'll say those are technique, but in those particular extreme emotions, such as giving yourself death, we all, this is what we do all the time in opera. We have death constantly in opera. Push the stakes to become physical and unsafe while you're doing your beautiful note. As you know, you're a superb technician. Your voice is completely mastered. You know what you're doing with your voice. So now let's talk about how you can endanger everything with your body and take way bigger chances and being way unsafe. Does that make sense? So try. It's not going to be happening now.
Thank you.
You know, it's not gonna, but we can. Do you like it? Do you like that path? Do you like that
Yes.
homework that you have to do now?
Very much. Yes. Thank you.
You can mix the level of your voice with that physicality and control those operatic things that we think are dramatic, because you have better stuff in you. You see, the whole time you were listening to me, you were super still and very focused. And we as singers, you are singers, why am I saying we? You are singers. As singers, you sometimes we don't think that stillness is a hard thing to do, so we don't use it. We think we're boring if we still. But that there's no way you can be boring with the voice you guys have and the text you're saying and the music you're saying. There's nothing boring about that. So stillness is very effective sometimes. And I think that in this area, stillness of gesture and everything is in your thought, and a little bit of, you know, in your breathing and the way you will convey this in the way you breathe, and the way you're going to close your eyes and the way you're going to reopen them at a certain moment. It's going to be super effective, and you don't have anything much to do. Sorry, I chat a lot. Does that?
That's good. Yeah, very, very good. Yes, thank you.
So homework number 1 is to take a cold shower. Homework number 2, no, I'm kidding. Homework number 2 is to go fetch alone when nobody's looking at you. Go fetch your darkest memory.
Yeah.
And then have a bottle of wine after that. And then get drunk because you're gonna need it. It's those are deep homework that, you know, you gotta explore the dark places to convey a dark moment. That ain't easy. That area, the scene is not easy, and you can do it so well. Yeah.
Thank you. You're very good at actually, you know, pinpointing what should be done. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for saying it. It's an amazing area for you. And the role, I'd love to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is beautiful. How are we doing, Mary, in time? Am I still okay? Should we move on the next one? Thank you, Sophia, for singing from Denmark.
Thank you. Yeah.
So cool.
Do you think it'd be Alyssa start with us now? So Alyssa, if you unmute yourself. I'm actually wondering if she is here now. I saw her earlier, but Alyssa, are you there? Oh, I hope we didn't lose her. You know what? We may have lost her. I'm not sure.
I scared her. She's gone. She's like, I ain't working with that French thing.
Not at all. Hopefully she's okay. Hopefully it's not any problems, but maybe in the meantime, for a few minutes, we can take some questions. So if you have any questions, I know there was one posted in the chat a little while ago, and oh, Diana has her hand up all the time, or already, I mean, not all the time, already. I do have a question. It says virtual rehearsing, performing, marketing, etc. are the new norm. What do you suggest in order to begin with all of this new norm? It's from
did you? You know what? I'm such an idiot. I'm so sorry. I was reading the chat thing and I completely did not listen to you, Mary. I'm so sorry. Would you? I'm such a bad person. I apologize. I'm not reading the chat anymore. I'm letting you guiding me. Apology.
No problem. He's wondering what the immediate impact of all of the virtual rehearsing and performing. How is that new norm changing, and what do you have any suggestions with, you know, how we go forward?
So there's a lot of talk about different things and different means or different media to present opera now. So I would say in the next future, don't close. I mean, it's hard to give any advice, but as of what we observe, a lot of innovate avant-garde companies. There's a few companies that have the including mine actually, the flexibility, because we're not mammoths like San Francisco, LA, the Met, we're not mammoth like this, we're smaller structures. So we have the flexibility to actually adjust and adapt and experience and new things. The most varied thing in technology was the HD production that the Met did a few years ago. And I was like, oh, and then there was the sets, LED screens on stage where now you have projection of sets. That was like, oh, and only very people with big means can do those things. But this is probably going to become more and more the norm. Nothing will ever replace live performance. If you take away live, so you don't have to fear that you're never going to sing in front of an audience. If we get that part of our lives, it's the essence of humanity that goes with it. So what's the point? No. So live performance, I think that all of us, that even if we're intrigued and interested about new technology mixed in the world of opera, we do this with in mind the service of the art form that we love, the way we love it. Opera is about immediacy from your throat to the heart of the audience. So nothing will ever replace that level of exchange and needed exchange. But why not create more jobs for singers by exploring the virtual world? So basically, what was the name of the gentleman that asked the question?
It was Jim Harward. James.
Jim?
Yes.
Jim is my neighbor. What the heck, Jim? We could have this conversation on the phone. No, I'm kidding. Hi, Jim. I'm loving that you're here with us. Jim is a great agent and a great man and a great knowledgeable man of the industry. I'm honored you're with us, Jim. Thank you. I believe that actors are going to be given more choice of, singers are going to be given more opportunities to be singers on stage, but also singers in the studio with a mocap, a motion capture suits, and knowing to move as actors in front of a screen. We might enter that age where opera and the movies and the game world will commingle. We have different partners, we're talking to different people, and it's pretty exciting. There's like a lot of, so it's just another path. What the pandemic has done is creating maybe another avenue for singers to perform that is not necessarily a stage, a real stage, Does that make any sense? So you're going to be using angle, technique. In stage direction right now, we're even thinking about what if we can touch on stage, because you guys are spitting on each other when you're singing, So what if you can't kiss, touch, kill normally? How do we do those things? So the virtual world could help, because you can angle things, and so maybe learn those new angle technique, which, when we do stage combat, for instance, already on stage in front of an audience, it's all about angle. We very rarely touch someone you never touch someone when you slap someone on stage in stage combat. So it's all about how you already understand angles, and distance. And so it's not much more different. There will be, I'm sure that there will be new technique of acting that the singers have to learn new stuff, I saw a production of The Dutchman at the Met. I saw some excerpts, and the stage director actually had all the actors not touching at all, ever. And the whole thing was, which I don't approve necessarily, but the visual was spectacular and the story was still told. So, I don't know. Does that answer the question of Jim? He's going to send me a text. I'm an idiot.
I think it's exciting. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, we do have a couple of hands raised. So Diana, if you want to unmute yourself, we'd love to hear your question.
Hi. Well, I guess we're just going to have no more murder, only suicide with a poison. So, okay.
Little arrow and little.
My question, it might open a can of worms, but what advice would you give somebody who wants to move, say, from opera into directing and or musical theater?
Connections, friends, let yourself know. Start small, starts in you want to do that, so I have to kill you. More competition.
No, I want to learn from you.
I'm kidding.
I actually studied opera stage directing and, still did some singing officially. And actually that's my degree, but it just seemed like I wanted to be a singer. So I dropped it. And now opera singing seems like it's not the right thing for me. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm really good with the languages, but they could never figure out am I soprano or a mezzo. So then I'm like also doing musical theater. So
fabulous. No, it's fabulous. Can you imagine? You're the perfect Renaissance woman. That's exactly, then you're perfect for stage direction.
Yeah.
You will be able to talk to your opera singers. You'll be able to talk to you Broadway singers. You'll be able to understand text if you have the language thing. You have the background. You're like ready. As of the transition, it's really, I don't know who you know, but it's important. I mean, as we know, we build our professions a lot through our own network. And I'm not even talking about the craft. If you want to, I know you know what it takes. If you've been a singer in both disciplines, Broadway and opera, I'm not going to teach you anything about the craft itself, And as of the staging, you're studying it, you might know even better than me, but it's all about, yeah, exactly. The craft is, I'm not talking about the craft, but the transition is, you're going to have to, call Jim Harwood. No, I'm kidding, but you're going to have to, who's an agent, you're going to have to find a network and start. You have two ways to start. You can be the assistant of someone, but you and I are not 18, so you're going to intimidate someone. Meaning, an 18 years old assistant is something, but when you come with that kind of knowledge already, I don't know if being an assistant is a good place, but on the other hand, it's a great place to learn all the big, quick, talking you the bridge between the stage manager and all the tech crew and the stage director and the artist. So being as soon as possible into the backstage area in whatever capacity can give you a quick reconnect with backstage, which is important, working with the light designer, working with all those people, tech aspect that somehow as singers we don't necessarily have. So rebrushing your tech knowledge and the lingo, how you spike a set on stage, that you can, because as a stage director, you know very well that you're going to have to talk to everybody, not just to your artist, but also to your set designer, to your tech crew, to your stage hands. You're talking to everybody. And the immediate thing is to create an immediate, as soon as possible for you, an opportunity to direct anything in a no budget theater, but it's your thing, it's your vision, it's your production. Even if it's a $500 production, do it at ASAP. And then from there, you build the next one and you get people to hear about you. And but your background is perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I agree with you. Thank you.
Glad we do. It's who we know. Huh? And as, if I may say, as a stage director, because it's on the, you don't audition, like, meaning you don't go like a singer, you audition, show yourself, you're not bought by someone, As a stage director, your audition is about your persona. It's on how do we call this in Latin? There's a name for this. It's on the persona. It's the impression that you give as a person. Same with the conductor. Yes, you can show your work, but when you don't have a portfolio, when you start, it's all about how you're going to convey, and how it's an interview. It's like you would do in a corporate world. So it's very interesting. My first interviews when I went to theaters, and I have all those ideas and I come with, I'd like to do this production with this and that, and nobody has money. Nobody will ever trust a young stage director that has not proven anything with spending millions of dollars for a production that they design. Even if it's a genius production, nobody's going to take a chance. So it's interesting. You sit with the director and you talk about anything. When I went to in Europe, I went to Liège and I spoke with this fantastic gentleman who knew Menotti, who knew all those people. And all we talk about is, first we furnish chocolate, and then we talk about chocolate, and then we talk about the different kind of chocolate in the world. And then we did this for an hour. And then we talk about the gay rights. And then we did this for another 20 minutes. And then for the 5 seconds, he accompanied me to the elevator. This is when he said, okay, well, send me your stuff about your production. And that was it. And this is how I got the job, you know? So it's weird. It's about, we sell ourselves about, you know, we got to be sitting in an office of a director that make the decision to hire. And that's a little difficult. So connections, network.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
But
maybe produce your own show sometimes.
Absolutely. As soon as possible, get your paws into the backstage area.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're gonna do great.
We are almost out of time. I do have Rain again, who she had a question. So Rain, if you want to unmute yourself.
Okay, so I just had one question, which would be, I know that typecasting is a big thing at some point, and one of my dreams since I was like 2 has been to be Christine in Phantom of the Opera, and I was actually like born to that music. It was playing in the delivery room when I was born. But I know that sometimes, like, I mean, you can never tell what's in a casting director's mind or like their vision, but I guess what would be your advice for me as like an actor and a singer, or just in general, to, I guess, attempt to change their mind when going into an audition? And obviously there's only so much you can do, but.
No, that's a beautiful question. I'm glad you're asking this question because it's so relevant. Well, you are kind of lucky. You kind of blessed, my dear, because this is the time of diversity. This is the time where diversity is fought for. So you go, girl, and you present yourself as Christine, and you have all the chances in the world to be actually considered because of your ethnical background. You know, because you'd be surprised, but there's a lot of money given to companies to promote diversity. And now, you know, and if you cast type too much whiteys, forgive me, on stage, then you're pointed a little bit by the finger. So we're in the area of reversal of, if you don't have enough diversity, then you are some kind of perceived as a racist or whatever. You're not PC, you're not. So it's delicate, but diversity is a big. So this is actually your time to there is a fight, and I understood that when I actually last year. I never looked at this. For me, excellence is excellence. Whatever background you have, when you're good, you know. But it's true that opera is not too much in Broadway world, but in opera, it's true that it's been written by white people, for white people, and then it's complicated. But there's been all those talks about diversity, and I understood the fights when last year I did an Elixir of Love, the opera with, I decided to move the action. Instead of doing it in a village of Italy, I did it in a village in Ghana. So the entire chorus was African-American, and the soloists were African-American. And it was just so much joy. But as a white person, it was interesting to work with, nobody was white in my cast. So I understood better the fights. I never knew that this was a thing at this level, that, you know, there was not a lot of equality in operas. I thought that, you know, and then, but then there's all those people that are so fighting for that this is your time. This is now that you're going to be glorious with your pretty hair and your beauty, you know, your ethnical beauty. So go sing freaking Christine. You have all the chances of the world right now. And you don't have to, I don't think you have to still feel that you have to fight. That's my point.
Okay.
It's a good time for that, for diversity, you know. So no hesitation. Any role you want to do right now.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Thank you, Rain. We have about maybe 3 minutes. So I have one more hand raised. So Ian, if you want to unmute yourself.
Actually, Maria knows
I know
me.
that face. Maria. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Where I just wanted to ask, because I'm starting to see this time as a young singer, just getting into things still. I'm starting to see this time as a blessing, because I'm finding it easier to focus on certain things that I want to do with my craft, which is good. But what should be like, how should we be using this time if we're looking to better ourselves? Like, if you were in a lot of our positions just kind of sitting in the waiting room right now, how would you be using this time?
Such a good question, Maria. Everybody, you talking about the time of pandemic, right? And I understand
Yes.
you're thinking about that time where we all can do nothing because all theaters and schools are closed. And well, when you're not crying and eating chips on your couch, you should, no, I'm kidding. This is I'm learning German right now. For instance, personally, while I'm trying to save my festival and give a virtual spin to it, of course, and transforming it into a drive-in festival. When I'm not doing my own assignments, it's very hard to work without a goal. So singers we have this audition, this competition, this job to do. So we prepare because there's a destination. So it's hard to put yourself in a position of basically, let me try to back up, and I will finish my phrase eventually. As a singer, you guys are the CEO of your company, the marketing director of your company, the product designer, the product enhancer developer. You are all aspects. If we have to compare to the corporate world, you are all aspects of a corporation. The difficulty of the singer is that you all of those. You are the marketer as well as the product at the same time. So we don't think like this, but those are corporate leaders have always goals. The difficulty of a leader in a corporate world is that they will say, out of nothing, we're going to go that direction, and this is my vision and I see it. So now you have to place yourself as a leader of your corporation, which is your body, your craft, and you have to do the same thing by setting goals that are imaginary, but reasonable goals that are based on your craft, and say, well, I have nothing else to do but learn 3 languages right now. Take some online classes to work on my posture, dance, work on your damn craft. Those are given time. You're right. If you can, at the end of this pandemic, speak fluently 1 language or 2, have studied 1 or 2 roles, at least character-wise, like we were talking about, and make a discipline, like create a space in your home that is your spot of work. Like this, you have the feeling, there's so many advice online about how to create a space of work at home where you go somewhere and you schedule a routine. This is what I do personally. I have a meeting at 11 every day, even if we have nothing to say, with my co-founder. At 9 o'clock, I start my day. And then you put a paper in front of you and write down everything that you'd like to be as a singer. And how many languages, Maria, how many languages do you speak? I know you speak French because I know you.
3. I do English, French, and Italian. My German would be a very good project for this.
So write down German. Now, what is the next role?
What?
What is the next role? What is your role? Like, if you have the possibility to be hired in your capacity, your age now, what would be the role you'd love to do?
I booked a Despina, and it was supposed to go up in August, so I've been learning Despina.
Despina. So you have all the Mozart, those kind of Mozart role would be perfect for you. So you go Despina and you go and pick up another one. Pick up another one and work it like you'll be the queen of it. Like nobody's gonna. Now, what do you know about dance? How's your physical level?
I should work on it a bit. I did 1 summer at Woodstock, as you know, and I've been taking movement classes at school. So I can move, but I don't have a routine.
Okay, so now we have cameras stuck into your face. Every singer now will have camera. There's the HD. The Met has this is not new. The Met has stuck cameras in our face, so the body type matters. Do you like your appearance? I do like your appearance. I think you're absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, and whatever. But do you like the way you look? And what do you see when you look at yourself? Are you selling what we see? Are you in adequation with what we perceive as an audience of you? Is there stuff that you can do in your body? Can you improve stuff or what you want to do? She's like, I'm fine, you're fine. But
no, I understand.
You understand, work on your image, experiment stuff in front of a damn mirror. Because remember, you're the product as well as the CEO of your own company. Have you done recently some great headshots? Do you have a website? Do you have a social media page? What have you put in your social media page? How do you build an audience? Who have you contacted that you know in the world of opera to just wish them, I'm just thinking of you, I hope you're doing well. What have you done to build your network? Stuff like
yeah. You got it.
There's a lot, you're right. This is a gift. I mean, forgive me. It could become an opportunity. I believe that we can make it as a humanity resilience time and proving that we can turn a pandemic into an opportunity.
Yeah, it was a lot of work to see it this way, but I hope that we can begin to. It is hard to see it this way, but I think we should try.
Very courageous to see it this way and very inspiring for others. Those questions are excellent questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of your questions. And Maria, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Really appreciate it.
My joy. It was a great moment of a very big uplifting moment to hear all those talents and see all the smiling face. It was very cool.
It's a wonderful thing to be able to share with each other during this challenging time. So
classical singers you guys rock. You and Mary and Alex, you rock. This is pretty impressive what you're doing. Yeah, because you're in it too, and it's hard for you guys too. Thank you for thinking out of the box for all of us. That's really great.
Well, thank you. We've got lots of thank yous on the chat going on right now.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Maria.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, guys. It's, I didn't want to read the chats anymore. Because that's so cool.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And just a reminder that we do have our convention at the end of this month coming up. So if you haven't already signed up to participate, we'd love to see you there. And we do have a masterclass this Thursday with Broadway performer Jake Swain. So if you would like to join us, please register for that as well. And we hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Maria, I'm James. I wanted to say hi to you.
Hi,
I'm Louis' friend. I found his new student.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Keith's accompanist.
Yes, wonderful that you were with us. I'm very pleased to hear you. We'll talk more later. We'll talk.
Okay, good.
Nice to make your acquaintance. Bye, Mary.